In a tar pit in modern-day Los Angeles, buried beneath what is now a city street, paleontologists have pulled out more fossilized skulls of a single predator than any other large carnivore found anywhere on Earth. Over 2,000 of them, all belonging to one animal, an animal so perfectly built for killing that nature designed it not once, but twice in two completely unrelated animal families, separated by tens of millions of years. And yet, despite being built twice, it still couldn't survive. This is the story of the saber-toothed cat, and it isn't really one story. It's two. Picture the Brea Tar Pits 12,000 years ago. A herd of bison moves cautiously near a pool of what looks like still water. But beneath a thin layer of dust, it's thick, black, inescapable asphalt seeping up from underground. One animal steps wrong. It's stuck instantly. Its panicked struggle draws attention from across the plain. And that's when they arrive. Smilodon fatalis, the most famous saber-toothed cat, wasn't simply a bigger, scarier version of a modern lion. Its entire body was engineered differently. Fossil evidence shows a stocky, muscular build, shorter legs than a lion's, and an exceptionally powerful chest and forelimbs. Researchers believe Smilodon wasn't built for speed or long chases. It was built for close-range ambush and overwhelming force. Then there are the teeth themselves, the feature that gives this animal its name. Smilodon's canines could reach lengths of up to 7 inches. Thin, blade-like, and surprisingly fragile compared to the thick, conical teeth of modern big cats. This fragility puzzled scientists for decades. How could an animal rely on teeth that could snap under the wrong kind of pressure? The answer came through biomechanical yenju, examining Smilodon's skull and jaw muscles. Unlike lions, which kill primarily using raw bite force to suffocate prey by clamping down on the throat, Smilodon's jaw muscles were comparatively weak. Its actual bite force, pound for pound, was likely less than half that of a modern lion. Instead, researchers believe Smilodon used its powerful forelimbs to pin down struggling prey completely, immobilizing it, before delivering one precise, controlled bite to the throat or major arteries, using its blade-like teeth almost like a surgical tool rather than a crushing weapon. This was not a predator that wrestled with its prey. It was a predator that eliminated the wrestling first, then finished the job with surgical precision. Here's where the story splits in two, because Smilodon wasn't evolution's only attempt at this design. Nearly 20 million years earlier, an entirely different, unrelated group of predators independently evolved almost identical saber-like teeth. Scientists call this group the Nimravids, sometimes nicknamed false saber-tooths, because, despite looking remarkably similar to Smilodon, they belong to a completely separate branch of the carnivore family tree, more closely related to modern civets than to true cats. This is a striking example of what scientists call convergent evolution, when unrelated species independently evolve strikingly similar solutions to the same survival problem. Nimravids and true saber-toothed cats never shared a direct common saber-toothed ancestor. Nature simply arrived at the same design twice, separated by tens of millions of years, because elongated blade-like canines proved to be an extraordinarily effective solution for taking down large, thick-skinned Ice Age herbivores. And it wasn't just 2 attempts. Fossil evidence shows saber-tooth-like adaptations appearing independently at least 3 separate times across different carnivore lineages throughout Earth's history. One of the clearest examples in the fossil record of evolution, repeatedly converging on the same extreme specialization for millions of years across multiple continents and multiple unrelated species. This design worked. Then, around 10,000 years ago, both major saber-toothed lineages that had survived into the late Ice Age vanished within a remarkably short window of time. The reasons, much like other Ice Age extinctions, appear to be layered rather than singular. As the Ice Age ended, many of Smilodon's primary prey species, giant ground sloths, ancient bison, young mammoths, declined sharply due to rapidly shifting climate and vegetation. A predator this specialized, built specifically for overpowering large, slow-moving megafauna, had far less flexibility to switch to smaller, faster prey than more generalized predators like wolves or early big cats. This specialization, the very trait that made Smilodon such an efficient hunter for millions of years, may have become its greatest vulnerability when its preferred prey began disappearing. Recent fossil analysis has revealed something else. High rates of injury visible in La Brea specimens, broken bones healed over years, damaged joints, arthritis, suggests Smilodon frequently sustained serious injuries during hunts. Injuries that would have required an extended recovery period, likely relying on pack support to survive. Some researchers now believe Smilodon may have lived in social groups, similar to modern lions, based on evidence of severely injured individuals surviving long enough for healing to occur. Animals that likely couldn't have hunted alone during recovery. This detail reshapes how we imagine these predators, not as solitary, silent stalkers, but potentially as cooperative hunters, capable of caring for injured members of their group long enough for them to heal. Here's the twist. That changes how most people think about saber-toothed cats entirely. We tend to imagine them as simply bigger, more dangerous lions. But biomechanically, they were almost the opposite of a modern apex predator's design. Weaker bite force, more fragile teeth, slower running speed. Every individual trait, examined in isolation, looks like a disadvantage compared to a modern lion. And yet, for millions of years, combined together in exactly the right way, these traits made Smilodon one of the most successful large predators in Ice Age North America, specifically because it wasn't trying to be a faster, stronger lion. It was solving the exact same problem, killing large prey through an entirely different biological strategy. Its extinction wasn't a story of weakness. It was a story of specialization, meeting a world that changed faster than specialization could adapt to. Today, more than 2,000 individual Smilodon skulls have been recovered from the Brea Tar Pits alone. An extraordinary concentration that exists nowhere else on Earth, created by countless individual tragedies. Predators, drawn again and again to the same easy-looking prey, trapped in asphalt, only to become trapped themselves. We often imagine evolution as a single path toward one perfect design. The saber-toothed cat proves otherwise. Nature tried this exact solution more than once, across unrelated species, separated by tens of millions of years, arriving at strikingly similar blades each time. It worked brilliantly for as long as the world stayed the same, but no specialization, no matter how brilliant, no matter how many times evolution independently discovers it, guarantees survival when the world underneath it changes completely. Somewhere beneath a Los Angeles street today, 2,000 silent reminders of that lesson are still being carefully excavated, one fossilized skull at a time.